Now, because it's the 12th week, I've got 12 Days of Christmas slight theme. So I will be going down in order on various questions. And as we get towards the end, there will be questions where we have the 12th day of Christmas and you've got to put stuff in order, hence the piece of paper. So I'm going to give you a load of options and then you've got to work out which order they need to be answered in. But it will come. I should have just posted it on FaceAche. Yep. Yep. No worries. Is our resident champion Frankie all ready? Okay. So let's just go back. So do we all have our answer sheets? Do we have a piece of paper ready for when the time is right? Okay, so let's begin. On the first day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me the tallest structure on Earth. Now, what could that be? Is it the Burj Khalifa, the Walsall radio mast, Tokyo Skytree, or Shanghai Tower? So as it's the first day of Christmas, or first day of Quizmas, something unique. So the tallest structure on Earth. So which one of those is the tallest structure on Earth? Okay, so on the second day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me a PBJ sandwich, which contains what two ingredients? A PBJ sandwich. And I'll have to mark this one because there could be various different correct answers on a PBJ sandwich. And then the most watched movie of all time, Jesus. Is that true or false? The most watched movie of all time, a film called Jesus. Is this true or false? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Apologies, Helen. I slightly ballsed up on the invite. I'd normally remember to take off the lobby part. Okay. Now, on the third day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me the Three Stooges. But which one of the following is not one of the Three Stooges? Moses Horwitz, Larry Feinberg, Adam Keith Horowitz, or Samuel Horwitz? Which one of those is not one of the Three Stooges? Then, which of the following is a Laurel and Hardy film? That famous duo? Is it Duck Soup, The Great Dictator, A Fozzle at the Tea Party, or Convict 13? So if it's not a Laurel and Hardy film, They are all black and white films from various different people. So which one of those is actually a Laurel and Hardy film? And our special one is the Large Hadron Collider, which is so big you can run a half marathon around the circumference and still not do a lap. Is that true or false? Is the circumference of the Large Hadron Collider greater than a half marathon? Is that true or false? My watch is going off for some reason. Okay. So this takes us on to the 4th day of Quizmas. My true love gave to me all the members of ABBA. So who didn't you get? So which one of those 5 is not a member of ABBA? I'm not going to embarrass myself to try and read those out. But one of those is not a member of ABBA. Now, the next is the Triple Crown of English horse racing. Which one of those horse races is not part of the Triple Crown? Is it the Grand National, 1,000 Guineas, the Derby, or the St Leger? Which one of those is not part of the Triple Crown? Now, R2 is the double helix. Which chemical has this structure? Is it ice, deoxyribonucleic acid, graphite, or diamond? Which one of those chemicals has a double helix structure? Is it ice, deoxyribonucleic acid, graphite, or diamond? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Are you just checking I've got my teeth in there, Dave? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay. Deoxyribonucleic acid from Siberia. My wife calls this my metro bus top. And our unique thing is the Cullinan diamond, which weighs around what? Is it around 420 grams, 520 grams, 620 grams, or 720 grams? The Cullinan diamond, the biggest diamond in the world. Okay. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me the famous 5. So here are the famous 5: Julian, Dick, and Timmy, and Georgina. But which one of those 5 is unusual? Which one of the famous 5 of Julian, Dick, and Timmy, and Georgina is unusual? So R4 is Toy Story 4. Which one of these Toy Story characters does not appear in who didn't appear in Toy Story 4? Is it Duke Kaboom, Mr. Pricklepants, Lotso, or Bunny? Which one of those is not in Toy Story 4? You've missed out, Dave. You've missed out. Okay. R3 is a trident. Which one of the following would you not expect to have a trident spear? Would it be Neptune, Thomas Curry, Atlas, or Poseidon? Which one of those 4, and the second one isn't a distant relative of Anne, I'm assuming, Neptune, Thomas Curry, Atlas, or Poseidon? Now, I don't know. Maybe he might be known by another name or not. Okay, so yeah, I'm just answering going to Reese. So a crossbreed dog is our two, because they're two breeds. Now, which out of the following is not actually a crossbreed? A Labradoodle, a Chalky, a Peekapoo, or a Xenopus? Which one of these is not a crossbreed? A Labradoodle, a Chalky, a Peekapoo, or a Xenopus? Which one of those is not a crossbreed? And it takes us down to our one, which is a one-hit wonder. Who Let the Dogs Out? Now, who sung it? Was it the Dog Pound, the Bloodhound Gang, the Baha Men, or Bow Wow? Who sung Who Let the Dogs Out besides Dave? Was it the Dog Pound, the Bloodhound Gang, the Baha Men, or Bow Wow? Okay. On the 6th day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me a trip to Six Flags. But what is Six Flags? Is it a military base, a theme park, a racetrack, or an airport? What is Six Flags? Okay. Five-a-side football pitch is our 5. But what shape is the penalty area? Is it a triangle, a rectangle, a square, or a semicircle? So what shape is the penalty area on a five-a-side football pitch? Okay, got a nice pizza question for our 4. A pizza quattro stagioni. It contains 4 what? Is it 4 cheeses, 4 meats, which will have Matt gagging in a sec, 4 seasons, or 4 types of mushroom? So what does that pizza have 4 of? Is it cheeses, meats, seasons, or mushroom? Now, slightly struggling to keep on the theme on this. So we have a trio here of Nirvana. You get a CD from the famous trio of Nirvana. But which other bands has Dave Grohl released music with? Is it Probot? Oh, hasn't released music with. So this is hasn't. Is it Probot, Them Crooked Vultures, Dolly Parton, or Tenacious D? So he's released music with 3 of those, but not one of them. Okay. And for our 2, a book on wave-particle duality. But what would this be about? Would it be about mathematics, biology, chemistry, or physics? A book on wave-particle duality. Now, what area would that kind of book be on? And lastly for this round, a pear tree. A lovely pear tree. How tall could it grow? Would it be about 2 meters, about 3 meters, 4 meters, or up to 5 meters? A lovely pear tree which may or may not have a partridge in it. Okay. Yep. there should be the one that he hasn't released music with. Yeah, I've put the question wrong. It's the one he hasn't released music with. Seventh day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me 7 dwarfs. Which one of these is not a dwarf? Is it bashful, clumsy, doc, dopey, grumpy, sleepy, or sneezy? Which one of those is not a dwarf? I was going to mix it up and take one out and put Gimli in there. Okay, for our 6 is a die. How much do the opposite sides of a die add up to? Is it 5, 6, 7, or 8? How much do the opposite sides of a die add up to? So our 5 is a bit of a blast from the past. The single System Addict by 5-star, which was released in what year? 1984, 1986, 1987, or 1988? System Addict, which I believe it was 5-star, that had someone swear at them on live Saturday morning TV when someone called them not particularly good band. So our 4 is a DVD of Rocky 4. Now, is that older or more recent than System Addict? Is it an older film, a more recent film, or was it released in the same year as System Addict by 5-star? Real 80s question there. So our next question is about the Cornetto trilogy, the Edgar Wright film series. Now, which one of these Edgar Wright films is not part of the Cornetto trilogy? Is it Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, Baby Driver, or Hot Fuzz? Which one of those Edgar Wright films is not part of the Cornetto trilogy? Now, our 2 is Two Turtle Doves, which can be found in the UK. Is that true or false? Can you find turtle doves in the UK? Which leads us to our last question of the round. Who was the first US president? Was it Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, John Adams, or George Washington? So which one of those was the first US president? Okay. Now, we've now reached the 8th day of Quizmas. Now, on the 8th day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me pieces of 8. Pieces of 8! Now, which country do pieces of 8 come from? They're a coin. Do pieces of 8 come from America, Spain, Portugal, or Britain? The pieces of 8 in pirate folklore come from which country? America, Spain, Portugal, or Britain? We then move to the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Which one of these did you not get? Is it the Great Pyramid at Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Statue of Zeus, Stonehenge, the Temple of Artemis, the Mausoleum of Hyrcanus, the Colossus of Rhodes, or the Lighthouse of Alexandria? Which one of those lists is not one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world? So, oh no, I've missed out 6. I've missed out a 6. Oh no. I've gone on straight from 7 to 5. It's disgusting. Oh. So we've got a pentagram is our next question. This 5-pointed star was found in what cinematic Yorkshire pub? Was it the Slaughtered Lamb, the Green Dragon, the Red Lion, or the Queen's Head? Which Yorkshire pub in a famous film had a pentagram in it? And R4 is a quadrilateral with equal sides and an internal angle of 90 degrees. What shape does that give you? A quadrilateral of equal sides and internal angles of 90 degrees. Is that a rectangle, a square, a trapezium, or a parallelogram? So what quadrilateral have you got? Okay. And next we move on to a triangle with no sides being equal. What kind of triangle is it? A triangle with no equal sides. A scalene triangle, an isosceles, or an equilateral. Okay, R2 is the film Twins, which didn't contain any twins. Is that true or false? According to the cast list on IMDb, the film Twins did not actually contain any twins. Is that true or false? So our unique one for this round is a unique fingerprint. Fingerprints can be classified by the Henry classification system. Is that true or false? There is a fingerprint classification system called the Henry classification system. Is that true or false? Okay, so we now come round to the tough questions. Hopefully everyone has their piece of paper and pen ready for the 9th day of Quizmas. So here the questions get a little bit more difficult. So you have the 9 royal houses of England after 1066. Now, for every single question, you'll have the same 9 answers. Okay, so you've just got to mark them in reverse order as we go down. Okay, so for the 9th royal house of England, we're talking about the most recent royal house, i.e. the royal house at the moment. Okay, so your answer will be related to the current queen. Which one of those do you think is related to the current queen for the 9th royal house of England? Now, on your piece of paper, you can work out which you think is the first royal house and put a 1 against that, and then work backwards from there to put them in order. So as you go down through them in chronological order, it'll then make it easier to give your answers. Okay? So this one might be a bit difficult. Okay, so well, if you've watched The Crown, I reckon you might be able to get at least 2 of them. The Crown. So that'll be a no then, Dave. That'll be on the telly. What? Okay. So which one of those do we think has come before the current? Is it just going to be easier for everyone to work out what it is, and then everyone raise their hands once they've got all their answers in before we move on to the next round? Oh, Steve reckons he's finished. Oh, it gets better, Dave. It gets better. Okay. Yes. Up here for thinking. Now, if you think about a certain tapestry, you might be able to get that one as being the first house after 1066, because one of those screams 1066. Okay. Is it time to move on to... You said that because I've got chocolate in my mouth now. Okay. On the 10th day of Quizmas, my true love gave to me the UK Prime Ministers in reverse order. Okay. So what we're talking about here is our current Prime Minister as 10th Prime Minister. And then who was before as our 9th Prime Minister, and working back from there. Okay, so write down all of those people in that list, and then give the one that's the current Prime Minister the number 10, who before that particular Prime Minister, 9, and then work all the way through until you get to the previous ones. Okay. I've got a feeling you might like the next round, Dave. I think you might like the next round. I reckon. Everyone finished on the Prime Ministers? Uh-oh. Is your pen okay there, Bradders? Yep. Okay. James Bond. Doing your James Bond films in reverse order. So what is the most recent James Bond film, going all the way back to the very first James Bond film? So which James Bond film was the first? And from that list, which is the last? Now I've been deliberately nasty on the next round, but on this one I've given you 11 answers, so you just have to put them in order. Dave, what was your team name? What was your team name? Okay, it looks like this might have been Reese's answers. We've got Stupid Pigs with Wheels have already submitted their answers. Yeah. Okay. How is everyone doing on their Bond films? Now, don't start Doctor Who just yet. Okay, the thing about the last round is I've been particularly sneaky and nasty, and I haven't given you 12 Doctor Who's. I think I've given you 14 Doctor Who's. And what you need to do is put them in the chronological life order of Doctor Who, which may or may not be the order that you see them in the show. So if we just look at the very first 12th Doctor Who, we've got Christopher Eccleston mentioned there. Okay, so he might have occurred later on in the TV show, but in Doctor Who's Lifeline, he appeared earlier. One of those characters might have appeared out of sequence from the TV show, but in the chronology of Doctor Who, they appear here. So it's the lifetime of the different regenerations of Doctor Who, and in that order. Okay. Oh, Braddis is running away. Reese's dispute with me is only 5 were credited as Doctor Who, which is next level. So how is Team Burge doing on this one? Big Doctor Who fans? I can see frantic working out by Frankie. Have you lost everything, Bradders? So if you pick one that's roughly in the middle, so you know you're kind of like getting rid of the outliers. We've got 3 responses in. Oh, 4. Technically. Oh, I haven't got any Downton Abbey. Matt, you can console yourself. Whatever score you get is going to be higher than Dave. But it looks like the problem's compounded for Reese because he wasn't allowed to answer it. And he is an avid Doctor Who fan. Ooh. Something's gone wrong. That's a bit better. Oh, that winds me up. But anyone else waiting to submit? Is everyone submitted now? Oh, Clido. I think I've only got the PBJ question to mark. I think everything else is simple enough. That's why I'm in effect going into market now to correct any variations. In effect, I am happy with everyone's responses on that one. So in summary, we have one person clearly in front. I'm trying to find out. I think the Burj Khalifa is a bit of a cheat because they got something like a 250-meter spire stuck on the top of the building. I mean, that's not right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Anne. Yeah. So, who is Unicorns Are Real? Anyone taking responsibility? The unicorns are real. They are this week's winners on 54 points. Next is joint second with Stupid Pigs with Wheels and Burgers Are My Mostest Favourite. Then we have Quiz, Kaz and Gwen. Then we have Bradders, and then we have the Cribs with no points whatsoever because it didn't come through. $30 more points than the Cribbers.